Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to be trying to help you get as fast as you can in the X2019 at Grand Valley for the upcoming round in the Nations Championship. So hopefully we can help you get as many points as possible. Now remember, if you do enjoy this video, if it helps you out, feel free to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, all helps me out, and share it with as many people as you want to. So for this upcoming race, we are running 27 laps at Grand Valley with all three tyres that are needed to use. Now I took the initiative to check out the World Series race that this was taken from and check out Killian's strategy. He ran 1 lap on hard, 17 laps on medium and 9 laps on soft. Now do remember, you might want to alter that based on your own driving. You might want to do a few more laps on the hard to lower the laps on the softs and the mediums. Now in lower lobbies, in lower ranked lobbies like GT2 and GT3, I would probably recommend using traction control with this car because it might be slightly slower, but you're going to not crash as much because this car is not the easiest to drive. So consistency will be vital for the race. So let's get onto the track guide and try and get you your pace as quick as possible so you can get as high up on that grid and get as good a result as possible in the actual race. So going into turn 1, we are going to be looking for the 200 board there. We're going to brake just shy of that 200 board. You can see the braking inputs going in now. And then we're going to try and take a line. You want to take a wide entry, but get it very into the apex by the middle part. So you can see here, going in wide, then getting down to the low point of the corner, and then using the gears to rotate it. Now you can use first gear to rotate it more than what I've done there, but I actually found second gear quite comfortable, so I just carried on with the second gear rotation and then up to third gear. Now this is completely flat out, just try and keep the input smooth all the way through this section, and then we're going to be looking for our next braking zone, which is the 400 board on the left hand side. Now we're going to brake ever so slightly past that 400 board, and just be careful not to brake too late for this corner because it really will upset the rotation into the next corner, which we're going to start turning in it just past the 100 board on the left hand side. And you really want to take this as close to the apex as you can. So use second gear for the rotation and then back up to third gear when you're getting back onto that throttle. So you can see into third gear and accelerating out and then powering your way into this tricky section. Now from here, you're going to use the start of the barrier on the right hand side there as a reference for the brake. Imagine a line across the track, and once you're there you can see onto the brakes and try and hold that line around about the double yellow line in the middle. I always use that as a reference, swinging slightly outside of it and then swinging back inside here, left hand tire as close to the dirt as possible. Try not to go in the dirt because obviously the possibility of picking up dirty tires. The same for the next right hand corner. And then once the car is in a straight line, you're getting onto the brakes, and again we're going to start rotating it into this next right hand corner. In third gear, skim the apex there, try not to get onto the dirt, and then use the shadow or the actual Grand Valley board as your reference. Remember that shadow will move slightly, so as soon as we're on there, onto the brakes, and then we're going to go down to second gear here. So you can see as we're going into the braking phase, down to second gear, and then be patient up to third gear and try and get that throttle down as much as you can. Just be very cautious, don't go too aggressive and spin up the rears. And now we're going to go into the next braking phase, which we're looking for the 100 board on the right hand side. Now I brake a little bit late here. Ideally I think you want to brake slightly earlier than what I've done, so you can hold a tighter line to this white line. If you watch Killian's Ghost here, takes a much tighter line there. I run a bit deep. This now compromises me for this next corner because we're at a wider angle, but ideally you want to try and follow that white line like Killian did there. It enables you to get on the throttle earlier, and then you've got a wider point of entry, which you can see here. I'm going from a narrow angle, it means I'm going to actually have to put a little bit of braking input in, and that's going to compromise how early I can get on the throttle for the exit. So probably 2 to 3 attempts there, gone instantly just on that corner. So try and get as close to that white line as possible. Just be careful on the exit you don't run into the wall on the left hand side, and then we're going to be looking for our next braking zone, which is the 100 board on the left there. We're going to brake pretty much dead on that 100 board, so as we play it here you can see onto the brakes pretty much dead level with that. And then again, as we brake through this section, you're going to trail brake all the way into the tunnel and keep that trail braking going. You're trying to rotate the car, basically keeping it as close to the curb as possible on the right hand side, and then up to third gear from second gear and try and gradually put that power down. Now again, just outside of the tunnel, you're getting back on the brakes, just a tiny dab. We're not going to go aggressive, it's just a dab of brakes to put the weight on the front of the car. Use some of the curb on the left, and again, try and get as close to these bollards as possible without hitting them. If you hit them, it's a penalty, so be very cautious there. But if you get that right, you can really get on that throttle up into fourth gear early there, and then it's completely flat out all the way to the finishing line. Now this car is tricky. I hope this has helped you out, I really do. It's not the easiest car to drive, and remember, Do not feel scared to use traction control if you're struggling with this car. Consistency in this race is going to be important. It's 27 laps for everyone. So driving this consistently is going to be vital for everyone involved in this race to get a good result. So let's watch this again with kilometers now from the chase camera. You can see that rotation through there. You can use first gear into third gear. For me, I felt like second gear rotated well enough for me that I didn't need to go into first gear, and then it's completely flat out through this section. You see, just keeping it smooth, braking just past that 400 board. And again, this corner is really important you don't brake late, because you brake late, you go off of that cambered corner and you just run wide. It's really important to get it nice and early to that apex. Again here, using that yellow line, always important to do that. Keeps you on the right line all the way through the corner. Again, just touching the white lines through here, try not to go on the dirt, and try and get on the power as early as you can on the exit there. Use as much of the track on the outside as possible, and then again brake a little bit early in what I do here. You can really see that understeer that kicked in for me there. Lost that line through by the white line. Yeah, probably compromised myself with a couple of attempts on the exit as well. So a little bit of time lost through there, but you've seen it with the guide. Hopefully you'll be able to get it better than what I did it. And then into this final corner before the last straight, you can see here, keeping it nice and tight through the tunnel. And then the little chicane, dab of curb there, dab of curb on the exit, and then flat out all the way to the finishing line. I mean, technically these are corners, but they're flat out in this car. You do not need to worry about them at all. It's completely flat out, and then it's over the line for a pretty solid lap. It wasn't amazing. We didn't spend too long doing this. We did this lap while we were live, and hopefully this guide will help you out. Do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again for more videos in the future. Thanks again for watching, everyone.